Most of you, this is great. My name is Terry Shaffer. I'm here representing Harvey Firestone Jr. And this picture back here was taken on the homestead. That's Harvey Jr. and his wife Elizabeth, and their two youngest daughters. That is Martha and Ann. And Harvey, you can read on here, he was born April 20th, 1898 in Chicago, Illinois, to Harvey's Sr. and Ida Bell. Right behind you is where they're buried. He is the oldest of the Firestone's 6 children. He grew up in Chicago, Akron, and Cleveland. He was educated in Asheville schools in North Carolina. In 1918, served in the Navy Reserves during World War I as an aviator. On September 3rd, 1918, the Navy received a letter of recommendation from Henry Ford to admit Harvey Jr. as a Navy pilot. After the war, he began his career with his father's company in 1919. He graduated from Princeton University in 1920. He was married to Elizabeth Park on June 25th, 1921 in Decatur, Illinois, in what was called the most elegant wedding to ever have taken place there. Their daughters are Elizabeth, who is buried back there, and she was born in 1922, Martha in 1925, Ann in 1933, and son Harvey III in 1930, the only son. Because Britain and the Netherlands controlled rubber production during World War I, and after the increase in raw materials rose, in 1924, Harvey began a tour of the equatorial world to study equatorial. I knew I was going to hang up on that word. There's 3 words, that was the first one. To study the growth of rubber and determine the most suitable region for production. Finally, in 1926, he chose Liberia as a site for the company's expansion. Production in the facility continued until the mid-1990s. He took over leadership of the company in 1941. In 1946, he became the chief executive officer, a position he held until 1963, in a period in which sales doubled to $1.3 billion annually.
Oh my gosh.
In 1946, the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company had 47 plants in 14 countries, including 23 in the United States. In 1948, he founded the Firestone Foundation, which he was president until his death. He suffered the tragedy of the death of his son, Harvey III, May 5th of 1960. He was inducted into the National Patron of the Delta Omicron, an international professional music fraternity for philanthropic efforts. He relinquished the top post of his company in 1963 at the age of 65 years old and continued as chairman of the board until 1966. In 1963, the company had 75 plants with 41 overseas in 23 countries and 34 in the United States. Harvey Jr. died June 1st of 1973. Services were held for him in his hometown of Akron, then proceeded here to his final resting place. At the time of the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company had 121 plants or facilities in 29 countries. His wife Elizabeth died October 13th, 1990, and is buried beside him. I have the privilege, I've worked here for 45 years at the park and the cemetery, and I actually helped bury 2 Firestones here. One over here and one over there, and it was, we had to dig it by hand. We were not allowed to bring a backhoe in here.
Oh my gosh.
And it took 5 of us like a day and a half because it was triple wide, and they would put them down in on concrete and build with concrete block all the way around them, and then put a lid on top, and then filled it in with dirt.
Yeah.
So they are honestly entombed. You know, I know you know. But it's very, it was very an honor to help do that.
Wow.
I bet. Yeah.
So how many Firestones are in here?
Pardon me?
How many Firestones are buried
Total?
in here? Yeah, do you know?
We could walk around and count. I think there's, I think like a dozen, roughly.
There's 4 here and 2 here, 6.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3,
6,
4, 5,
7.
6, 7, 8,
He had
9,
how
10,
many
11.
children?
6, but they're not all buried here. I think all I counted was these 2 buried here.
Okay.
So the other ones must be in Akron or wherever they lived or married or whatever. But these are all descendants, of course, of Harvey in here.
It's probably up to the wife or whatever. Yeah.
The remaining.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Mm.